Hello, welcome back to Bill's Workbench. We have got the MN128 back on the bench today because, as you know, I'm having my trials and tribulations with this new motor that I put in right here, which I am going to take out and put the old one back in. But way too much power, and it broke the little U-joint there, whatever that joint is called, for the drive shaft. So I want to show you how to replace that in case you break one of yours. So luckily inside of the kit, they include a couple replacements. So that's lucky. If you break this again, you're only going to have one left, so be careful. So they include that as well as the new studs. I don't think I'm going to need the new stud in there, but we'll find out. So I need to push that metal little doodad out of there. First thing we want to do is unscrew this top piece. So rotate this axle until you see the Phillips screw right there. Unscrew that. That's the screw aside. Make sure you don't lose it. You got your piece out. There, let's set this aside, and now I need to get that out of there. So to do that, I'm going to need something. All right, we're going to try the pinion puller to get this out of here. There we go. Look at that. That was easy. Alright, so I tried all these other things to do, including a hammer, and that didn't work. I used a pinion puller to do that. I'll put a link to this in the description. This tool has once again saved my bacon. So here's the new piece. I'm going to get that new piece installed in here first. Okay, that is in. Now, let's get this all cleaned up. Okay, so now I'm ready to get that back installed back in there. Get that in. So now I've got it in part of the way. Let's use the pinion puller to push it in. Center it in there nicely. Almost like you have 16 hands. Well, I think 16 hands would get in the way. Get that. All right. Oh yeah, got that done. So I used the pinion pusher outer puller thing to push it out. I used a hammer to pop it in. Until the hammer stopped working, then I used the rest of this to push it through. I mean, come on, that is a great device. Alternatively, you could just go out and buy the metal drive shafts and be done with it, which is what I have on order, but they're not here yet. So I want to make sure that these are opposite of each other. So you see how the U is faced that way? Well, I want this U to be faced this way. Now we'll get the screw back in there. Voila, we have a fixed drive shaft. So what do you need? You need a Phillips screwdriver. You need a little baby hammer. You need a pinion thing. And I'll have links to all of these parts You should have one of these anyway. This is made to pull the pinions off of your motors. That's what this is made to do. And it does it without pulling the shaft out of the armature. Important. Not expensive. Okay, so those are the tools I use to do this job. Thanks for watching. I hope yours doesn't break and you don't have to replace it. But if you do, now you know how to replace it. You know, all good ideas, well, not all good ideas, come after I hit the stop button. I noticed on here that when this broke off, there was a little hole right here in the spot. Let's see. There's a little hole that went right in there. So what I did was, because if you don't have an extra one of these thingabobbers, you can get a 1/16 drill and carefully drill in there, you know, through that piece like so. And then you get an M2 screw. And then you can put the M2 screw in there, and that'll just thread itself in, because the 1/16 is smaller. So you can thread that in. And then you could use that M2 screw to go in there to replace this little plastic doodad right there. So the M2 screw, we'll zoom in. So the M2 screw right there, oh, it's magnetic. We'll replace the little part that broke off. Then you can just screw this right back in. So that is an option for you. You probably will need, I don't know, that one is an M. Yeah, these are 4mm long. So you probably need a 4 or a 6mm screw to make that work. Okay, so that'll work. Don't glue it, because it'll never work. It'll never hold. So that's a plan B for you if you don't have the replacement piece. The other plan C is you can buy metal drive shafts for this thing. Or just not replace the motor with a brushless motor. Use the one that came with it, which is fine. That'll be my next video, is I'm going to put the regular motor back in this thing and put a good speed controller in here. We're going to try the crawl test and see if it works better.